Welcome to another Rolled in Reacts episode. The owner of this car had some issues with their headlights, but had temporarily fixed it by themselves. And this customer finally had to come in to get their tire fixed, after having fixed it a couple of times themselves. Customer states, car jerks a lot during acceleration. The mechanic found that the engine mounts were pretty much non-existent. This customer had fixed a minor oil leak at another shop but had to come in because it was still leaking. And this car came in because of a clunking sound. The owner of this car came in complaining about a really wobbly steering wheel. And this customer rolled in saying that their brakes have been squeaking more than usual lately and wanted it checked out. This car came in after the owner's wife had hit a curb a bit too fast after racing to get a parking spot before someone else. The owner of this Ford Edge came in complaining about a slight vibration when driving on the highway. This vehicle came in because of an exhaust leak after the customer had installed their own homemade sport exhaust system. And this truck rolled in for an inspection when the technician noticed that someone had been somewhat creative with the driveshaft. This mechanic just wanted to check the oil, but the car said no. The owner of this car came in saying that lately their brakes have been feeling different, and this is what the mechanic found. And this guy had installed some LED lights by himself, but had to come in because now he has no brake lights at all. This car came in on a tow truck after the owner had hit a fire post while driving to work on a rainy morning. And this customer needed to replace a gasket but was a bit short on cash, so he built one himself using a piece of cardboard and some electric tape. Customer states, had a clunk for a while, then my buddy fixed it for me for a 6-pack, but now the clunk is back. And this customer came in saying that they have a rattling sound when driving after they had some work done at a different shop. The owner of this car had it in for an inspection when the mechanic discovered they had fixed their bushings in a very economical and creative way. And this Chevy came in because of smoke coming out of the engine bay. Turned out to be caused by oil leaking onto the manifold from a broken oil filter. This car came in after the owner said he's been hearing a clicking sound whenever he pulls in and out of his driveway and thought it might be a ball joint that needed replacement. And this vehicle was definitely engineered by someone who either is a mechanic themselves or is a good friend of one. This customer came in saying that they have trouble getting the car to stop ever since their uncle had helped them install some new calipers and brake pads a few weeks prior. And this car came in with some starting issues after the owner had installed a used light bar by himself. Customer states, I heard you need to change spark plug fluid every once in a while, so that's why I'm here. Please advise. This Chevy Avalanche came in because the owner said that it's been running rough after being parked under a tree while he was on vacation. And the owner of this car came in really worried, saying that he thinks he might need an engine replacement. Turns out that it was just a bad crank pulley that needed replacement. And this customer had installed a used transmission together with a friend, but had apparently forgotten the torque converter bolts and had to come in because the car wouldn't move forward or backwards anymore. Customer states, installed some new rims, but I think I must have gotten the wrong size. This Hyundai Elantra came in after the owner had hit a rock while driving on an unmarked road to go see his friend. And this customer had tried doing some electrical work on his car after having watched a couple of DIY tutorials on YouTube. This customer had borrowed his buddy's van but had to come in because it had quite the steering wheel vibration when driving on the highway. Apparently, the van had recently been in for a tire rotation at another shop and they had accidentally installed the wrong set of tires on it. This Pontiac Sunfire had to come in because the owner said that the whole car feels loose whenever they let go of the gas after accelerating. This customer came in saying, "Parked the car on the street last week, but ever since, something's wrong with the door. It just won't close." This livestock trailer came in after the owner said that they recently towed some cows for about 400 miles, but that the trailer had started making a weird sound the last couple miles. And if it was possible for oil to somehow turn into silver, this customer would probably be pretty rich right now. This customer came in with quite the steering wheel wobble after they had just filled up the tires by themselves at a local gas station the night before. And this customer came in saying that they had let their son borrow their truck for the weekend to go fishing with his friends, but they had apparently hit a large pothole on their way back. Customer states, "There's a rattling sound when driving. Please advise." Seems like the customer must have forgotten they had a dog cage with an open hatch in the back seat. And this truck came in because the owner said that it keeps squirting on random strangers and wanted it fixed. And the last time this car had its last oil change was 58,000 miles ago. Sheesh. I mean, as long as it stops, you're fine. Customer states, "Car starts smelling like a sweaty locker room every time I turn on the AC." The owner of this truck came in complaining about the truck jerking around a lot more than usual whenever he presses the gas. Customer states, "It feels like car is leaning more to one side than the other." I think you're right. The owner of this SUV came in saying that they've been getting a pretty bad clunking noise ever since they had some suspension work done at a quick fix repair shop. This customer was apparently driving on the highway behind a logging truck when a smaller log fell out and they accidentally drove over it. And this customer had just purchased their new Fiat 500 from a local dealer and was on their way home. While driving on the highway, they had apparently tried to forcefully shift it into the 6th gear, which didn't exist, and had instead put it in reverse. Customer states, "Brake issues, but only when driving in the rain. Please advise." This Hyundai Tucson came in because the owner said it handled like a sheet of plywood on a windy day. Customer states, "Was driving home from work when I suddenly heard a loud bang." And this customer had done some suspension work on his car, all by himself, but had to come in because of a clunking noise. This car came in with some brake issues. And this customer came in complaining about a wheel noise when driving on the highway after their friend had helped them install new brake pads. Customer states, "Car came to a sudden stop after hearing a loud squeaky sound. Turned out that the transmission had turned itself into a mechanical Caesar salad because it had been running with pretty much no oil in it after the customer had hit something on the road." This semi-truck came in because it had trouble starting and had really poor acceleration. The mechanic discovered that the air filter looked like this, and probably hadn't been changed in a couple of years. And this car came in because the customer complained about a constant tire leak and wanted it checked out. The owner of this car came in saying that it feels a bit loose when taking larger turns. This customer had done some suspension work at another shop, but had to come in because now they have a pretty loud rattling sound. This car came in with a pretty loud engine knock after the owner had done their first oil change but forgotten to tighten the drain plug. And this customer had done some brake work at another shop, but they had missed to tighten the lug nuts properly, so the wheel was this close to falling off. And you know, as a mechanic, sometimes it's actually better to wear gloves. Sport. Customer states, "Sounds like something's loose inside my wheel. Please advise." This BMW Z4 rolled in because the owner had hit a pothole while going to their summer vacation place. And this vehicle came in with new tires installed, but just on one side. This customer apparently sleeps on the floor and wanted his car to feel the same way. The owner of this Jeep came in saying, "I was just flashing the headlights at this guy who cut me off, but then my car started smoking like crazy." The owner of this Mondeo came in because it bumps more than normal after the customer's son had borrowed it for a weekend to go see his friends. Customer states, "Clunking sounds when going over speed bumps." And this customer had their friend, who owns a small private garage, balance their wheels for them, but now has a pretty bad steering wheel vibration. And this car had a bit of a rattling sound when driving. Yup, looks great. And the owner of this car came in complaining about a grinding noise when turning after having been parked in a grocery store parking lot for a few days. This car came in with a pretty wrecked interior after the customer's husband had found out she was cheating on him with her manager at work. And this Citroën Xsara rolled in because of poor braking power after the customer's friend had helped them install new calipers and topped off the brake reservoir with transmission fluid. This customer came in with their outboard motor because it wouldn't spin the propeller anymore, after the customer had gone max throttle for 60 minutes straight and accidentally got caught in a fishnet. And the owner of this car had apparently floored it a bit too hard and had to come in for a replacement gas pedal. Customer states, "It's really hard to put it in gear. Had it checked at another shop, but they couldn't find anything wrong with it." This truck was in for an inspection after the customer had done some suspension and exhaust work on it, all by himself. And this customer came in and complained about a squeaky sound when braking. And when your engine mount starts looking like this, it's probably time for new ones. This customer came in after they had raced their buddy at a stoplight, but then suddenly heard a loud clunk from the engine and lost pretty much all power. And the owner of this car came in saying, "Listen, I'm no genius, but I'm pretty sure that I don't own a tractor." This truck rolled in for an inspection after the customer had converted it from 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive and wanted to see if they had done it right. And this car came in after the owner said it handled like a refrigerator full of bowling balls. I wonder why. This customer came in saying that they've been getting a strange sound from the front for a while and wanted the mechanics to have a look. And this customer had just purchased this car from an auction, thinking it was a bargain. But after a few weeks, the paint started to chip, and this is what the mechanics found once they had it in the shop. The owner of this vehicle had replaced their own ball joints, but had to come in because they had a terrible sound when driving on the freeway. Customer states, was pocket parking and brushed against the curbside. Can you fix it? And this customer came in saying, my car does the best impressions. Can you guess who it is? Sounds great. This car rolled in because it kept overheating after the customer's brother had replaced a couple of coolant hoses but forgot to tighten them properly. And this car came in with some brake issues. And this car came in because the turn signals had stopped working because the owner hadn't changed the blinker fluid in a while. Customer states, there's a loose nut behind the wheel, and I'm pretty sure it ain't me this time. This car came in with some starting issues. And this car came in for a pre-purchase inspection, and thankfully so, because it was just seconds away from literally falling apart. Customer states, car sounds like it had beans for lunch every time I take off. This field mechanic was doing some work on a boat diesel engine after it had overheated and cracked in quite a few places. The owner of this Mercedes C-Class came in saying, I don't know what it is, but anytime I go on the highway, it smells like a barbecued skunk. This customer came in and said, I let my son borrow my Mercedes for 2 weeks and it came back with this strange thumping sound. Can you check it out? And this car apparently has a tenant that doesn't pay any rent. Yep, looks perfect. This customer came in saying that their car sounds like a Terminator robot trying to walk. Turned out to be a failing AC compressor clutch. Customer states, starting issues. Woo! The owner of this car came in with pretty much no brakes after their friend had helped them install new calipers and somehow forgot the caliper bolts. Customer states, I do all my own oil and filter changes, but lately car has been feeling kinda different. Can you check and see if everything's alright? This guy came in with his truck looking like this after he had attempted to tow a trailer with a small excavator on it. And here's another great example of car engineers that don't care for the car mechanics at all. In this case, the oil pan is secured by special brackets that are a real pain in the ass to get out. And this customer had installed some radio gear in his truck, all by himself. The owner of this ATV came in complaining about a clunking noise, but only during acceleration. This truck came in with a few leaking tires after driving past a construction site on their way to work. And this car came in with a little crankcase pressure. This customer came in saying, I've been getting this strange rattling sound for the past couple weeks. Can you check it out? The mechanic later found out that the customer had been in for a tire rotation at another shop, and they had installed all the lug nuts the wrong way. And this car came in after the owner complained about a scratching sound right after startup. Customer states, my truck keeps overheating and has also started to leak coolant. This customer had installed some new brake rotors together with their friend from high school who's apparently great with cars and had also done a great job at picking different types of brake rotors for the front. This customer came in asking, is it supposed to smoke this much during cold starts? And this car came in after the owner complained about it leaning a bit more to one side after hitting a pothole doing 60 miles an hour. And this Hyundai rolled in sounding like this. The customer apparently hadn't done an oil change in it since buying it new 8 years ago. This truck came in with its brakes literally breaking. Also, the customer had done some beautiful DIY repairs on the subframe. And this car came in because the owner said it had a strange ticking sound, but only right before starting the engine. Customer states, I hit a sparrow on my way to work, and ever since, the car has been starting to overheat on me. And the owner of this truck came in saying that putting their car into drive is like winning the lottery. This customer came in with their truck complaining about a loud squealing noise when braking. And the owner of this car had went away on vacation and parked their car in a garage, but once they came back, they said that it now sounds like a rally car. This vehicle came in like this, after the owner said it had started making a noise just recently. This customer had some brake work done and a new battery installed at a different shop, but had to come in because they could barely stop the car. Turns out that the other shop had skipped reconnecting a couple of parts. Customer states, truck leaks coolant, please advise. Turned out that the customer had replaced some hoses over a year ago, but didn't tighten them properly, so coolant had slowly been leaking out and eventually caused a much bigger leak. Sorta looks like chocolate. And this engine had a bit of a leak. And this customer had apparently never heard of WD-40. Customer states, car has started to run real bad and accelerates like a sea turtle. Please advise. And thankfully, this customer came in right on time to get this pretty massive oil leak fixed. You can't see it from an airplane. This car came in because of a slight thumping sound when riding over speed bumps. Customer states, hissing sounds and car feels really sluggish when trying to accelerate. And this customer came in complaining about the steering feeling too loose after a friend of a friend helped them do an alignment. The owner of this car had it in for some brake work at another shop, but they had apparently permanently misplaced the caliper bolts without mentioning anything to the customer. And this car came in after the owner couldn't roll down their window anymore and said that they keep hearing water sounds when turning. Turned out to be a clogged water drain hole. Nice. This car rolled in with a bit of an identity crisis. And the owner of this car came in saying, I've been to 2 shops already to try to fix these tire leaks, but each time it just gets worse. And this customer complained about a bit of a vibration when driving at higher speeds. Customer states, I do all my own oil changes and I do them on time, but last week my car started sounding like this. And the owner of this truck came in saying that they had been racing their buddy when the turbo seals blew, and this is how that ended up looking like. Customer states, I think I need a new wheel bearing. Something's not right here. This customer drove into the shop saying, car's been burning a bit more oil lately, thought to have it checked out. Customer states, truck sounds hella loud. This customer had let their grandson borrow their car for the weekend, but had to come in because now they have a rattling sound. And the owner of this Chevy Blazer had apparently just hit a squirrel on the highway and came in for some body work, but when asked about the deployed airbags, they just shrugged and said, I don't know nothing about cars. Nice. This car came in because it overheated due to a bit of a coolant leak. Turns out that the customer had been driving it for years without proper maintenance and that it wasn't the first time it had overheated. And this customer apparently likes to know exactly where they're going. The owner of this car complained about a horrible vibration when going over 88 miles an hour and also wanted to know what year it was. Customer states, hit a pothole and now car makes a strange noise. Please advise. Sounds great. This car came in after the owner said, steering wheel keeps whining at me whenever I make a U-turn. It's that 80% dark chocolate. And this guy could only open the door from the outside and wanted the mechanic to have a look. Customer states, friend of mine changed a wheel bearing a while back, but as of last month, something's not right with the wheel. Can you check it out? And this customer came in complaining about their car leaning heavily to one side, and this is what the mechanics found. This Chevy Silverado came in for a pre-purchase inspection after the current owner had said, "Trust me, I put some of the best undercoating there is on this puppy." Customer states, "Yeah, I had a noise from the differential for a while, but I fixed it myself. And here's an Ecotec engine just being an Ecotec engine." The owner of this car complained about a whining noise during idle after having replaced some belts by himself. Now, see, I don't think it's supposed to do that. And this Toyota Hilux pickup came in with some starting issues after the customer had done some electrical work on it by himself. Customer states, there's a rattling sound whenever the car's running. Turns out that the timing chain was free roaming. The owner of this car said that their brother helped them install a used generator 2 weeks ago, but now they need a new battery. This truck came in because of a clunking noise after the owner had installed quite a unique lift kit on it at a different shop. Customer states, someone chewed on my tire. There we go. The owner of this truck came in for a state safety inspection saying, "Listen, me and my brother are both mechanics and do all our own work, so just tell us what's wrong with it and we'll fix it ourselves like we've done before." This customer came in saying that their car has started sounding like a high voltage substation. All aboard! Customer came in complaining about their brakes feeling different after having their brakes refurbished at a different shop. This Peugeot expert came in for its first oil change since 2011 after the customer said it had started to run poorly the past few days. And this car had more than just one owner. This customer came in saying that they've been getting a loud noise when braking and occasionally some clunking sounds, but didn't mention anything about this. Yep, looks good. Oh, I know, it's one of those new style brake rotors. Customer states, forgot my keys one day, so I had to improvise. The owner of this BMW SUV came in complaining about a strange sound coming from the differential, and this is what the mechanic found. And this car rolled in for an oil change, but when the mechanic went to sit in it, he discovered it was pretty nasty. This customer came in saying, "Fixed the intercooler at my buddy's garage, but now the car leaks coolant and accelerates like a sloth trying to get down a tree." And this car came in because the owner said it's been louder than normal the past few days and wanted it checked out. Customer states, car has started chain smoking again. Please advise. This customer had fixed a leaking tire all by himself using some good old duct tape. And the owner of this car had started getting a loud sound when driving on the highway, after they had done some framework on it together with their father. Customer states, I hit a pothole and then the car just went. Beautiful. This vehicle came in after the owner had fixed a coolant leak at another shop the week before, but looks like their mechanics couldn't even fix a sandwich. Customer states, what do you mean my truck's dangerous to drive? I've been driving like this for years, and my buddy does all my work for me for free. And this car couldn't have come in any sooner to get some new tires installed. The owner of this car said that they haven't done an oil change in a while and thinks it might be time. I'd have to agree on that one. This customer came in saying, washer fluid goes anywhere but on the window. Please advise. This guy had installed some new rims on his car, but had to come in on a tow truck because the car wouldn't go forward or backwards anymore. And this car came in because the engine ran rough and sometimes wouldn't want to start. Customer states, loud metal to metal noises when going over bumps. The owner of this Nissan was on his way to work when his tire blew up and he had to drive 100 miles just to get to the closest shop. This guy came in with his car saying, this noise just means it's warming up, right? Customer states, starting issues and sometimes there's a misfire. Please advise. This customer had installed a new sound system and soundproofing kit they'd gotten at a bargain price off Temu, but had to come in because now their windows won't roll down anymore. Brakes. Who needs them anyway? And this truck came in with some issues. The owner of this Peugeot SUV had tried topping off her washer fluid by herself, but had accidentally filled it up in the wrong place not once, but twice. This customer came in complaining about their AC not working as it should, and this is what the technician found. This customer's friend had told them the secret to cheap and easy tire repairs, but they still had to come in and pay to have their tire fixed. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and until next time.